Welcome to The Chatter, your end of the week ear candy for what to eat, drink, see, and do in Richmond, Virginia, right damn now.
The Richmond Experience is independently owned and created by locals, us, for locals, you. From recent openings and the latest trends to time-tested traditions and hidden gems, we're here to help you experience the very best that RVA has to offer.
Hi, I'm Paige, RVAx owner and chief marketing officer. I'm the face you see in front of the scenes on Instagram and TikTok, taking you to all the latest and greatest hotspots around town.
And I'm Kelsey, RVAx owner and editor-in-chief, working behind the scenes on your Wednesday and Thursday newsletters, the Weekly Insider and the Weekender, and City Guides.
Hey, Kels, what's up?
Hi, Paige. How are you?
I'm good. We're a little stressed, I
Yeah.
think. When are we not?
No, it's par for the course of any day, really.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just been like, I don't know. I need the sunshine. It's kind of cloudy today. Um, I've just been so busy this weekend. Like, I did not get a break. So yesterday I kind of like took the day, but now I'm like behind. It's
I
like you
always
never
do
get a
that.
day off.
No, I always hate those periods where it's like, oh my gosh, I've been doing X, Y, and Z. I'm going to just relax. And then when you relax, it's like, I really shouldn't have done that. I've missed 5 different things now.
Yeah, it's like, if you take Monday off, then you just have 4 days to complete everything instead of 5. So really, like, you're giving yourself a minute, but then you're not because you're trying to finish it all in 4 days instead of 5 now. So that's how I feel. But it's okay. I just had a very busy weekend. If you saw on social, I was just doing a lot,
Mhm.
and that's okay. We're just in spring, and that's what we do.
Yeah, it's 'tis the season. We were fresh off of Monument Avenue 10K happenings. You got a
Yes.
little, I saw a Petite Four situation to reward yourself at the end.
Finally, I finally got to go, and I think it was only because of the Monument Ave 10K that they had some available,
Right.
but we
Everybody was
snuck.
distracted.
You know what's so funny, Kels? After the 4 of us wrapped up the Monument Ave 10K, Kelsey, me, Holly, and her husband Matt, we all were like, finishing up our judging. And Holly's like, well, let's get to Jarden because that's about where we parked. Because we figured, after the 10K, what a better reward than eating cheese and wine?
There
And
is that.
so Holly walked so fast to Jarden, like her mile pace must have been like a 16-minute mile. Meanwhile, we were just like moseying along for the 10K. It was like
Yeah.
that girl wanted her wine and cheese.
Yeah. She was keeping us abreast of our time for every mile, but apparently she had way more in her.
She had a lot more in her. She probably could have ran,
Yeah.
but she didn't. So yeah, we got to Petite for like at 11:45, and they were going to close up shop at noon. So there were actually lots of goodies left, and we tried a little bit of everything, to be honest, and it was great, delicious. I mean, they do great things over there.
Yeah.
Jordan, Grisette, that whole team.
Of course, they know what they're doing. It does look like you got a very nice little spread considering what time you were over there, but who knew that the 10K would serve as a perfect distraction for other, bakery lovers.
Yeah, just close the streets a little bit, made it
Exactly. Make it a little
accessible.
right. Make it a little trickier for people to get over there. That makes sense. Delish. Well, I'm so glad that you got over there, and then you did some River City Roll anniversary
Yep.
party happenings too.
Yep, we celebrated River City Roll's 7th anniversary, and our neighbors hung out with us, which was great. And then I think, yeah, we just hung out more that evening as our neighborly group. So that was great. We're
Yeah,
actually going to hang out again on Saturday at Brambly because again, we live in Scott's Addition, so now we're just like bouncing around.
I
It's great.
know.
Yeah.
Now it's the time. Well, it
Yeah.
sounded and looked like a definitely full weekend, but you're really on your springtime grind.
Yeah, and then on Sunday, I had to drive to Charlottesville at like 7 in the morning because I judged a wine competition, my first ever.
Yeah, how did that go?
Oh, I feel like I have imposter syndrome. That's what I feel. But it was an honor, and I was super grateful to be asked. I judged the Monticello Cup. So all the wineries in and around Charlottesville are in the Monticello AVA. And so they have annual competition every year. And so I think I tasted over 40 different wines. and I had to judge them on a 100-point scale. And it was the first time I ever judged. So I don't know. I just hope I did it right.
I'm sure you were spectacular. God, for doing 40 of those seems like that would be
Well,
so. Is
yeah,
there?
and you taste, you spit, and, like, by the end, my teeth and tongue were purple because there were a lot of Petit Verdot's and Meritage, and it was wild. And that evening I got back, and again, we hung out with our neighbors, and we went to the Vale, and it looked, like, purple.
It was a died situation. Where did you get to a point when you're judging that many where it's like they're starting to blur together, or the professional in you is able to keep them all straight?
So what is cool, and I mean, the gentleman that organizes the competition, Frank Morgan, he's been doing this for a long time. And so he takes feedback from judges, and that's how they also judge. He also organizes the Virginia Governor's Cup as well. But essentially, how he structures it is you're in two different groups, and you sit down for a flight, and then it's white or red. So it'll all be white or it will all be red or all rosé or all sparkling. So I started with 2 rosés, and then the other table, I moved. I went to the other flight, had reds. And then once I was done with that, I moved to the back to the other table, and then it had whites.
Okay.
And then I moved back to the other table and it had reds. So you just kind of bounced back and forth between the flights. And so it was white, red. So it kept your palate fresh.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, yeah, by the end you do have some fatigue, but you gotta like keep going. Obviously, you could take breaks. There's plenty of water, all of that. There's snacks. And then you break for lunch, and after lunch, you came back, and then the top 12 or the case was in front of you. And it just so happened that it turned out to be 6 whites and 6 reds.
Hmm.
And so then you judge the final round.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, it seems like then they set it up for you so that it doesn't. There's not a blur effect necessarily. You're figuring it out.
No, you feel good. And there were over 60, I think, wines in the competition, but I didn't taste them all because I was in, like, there's an A group and a B group.
Mhm.
And so at the end of those 12, there were some that I hadn't tasted. And
Okay.
you can tell, like, you remember. It was so cool. And to be honest, I am proud of my palate because I sat down and I'm like, oh, these are all Petit Mansangs. And he didn't tell me that. Or I was like, oh, these are all Chardonnays, or this was a Sauvignon Blanc. So I can kind of taste the varietal now, which that is very a proud moment for me.
Yeah, imposter syndrome. Who? It sounds like you're knocking it out of the park, Paige.
I don't know. It was an honor. I hope I get invited back. I
Yeah.
mean, there are other wine competitions in the state that I would love to just be involved in. And it's great because, I talk about all the time, wine is my passion. And because of my full-time job, sometimes, wine gets put off to the side. So whenever I can do something in that world and that community, I try and do it.
Yes. Well, I'm glad that it turned out to be an enjoyable time for you then for your weekend. And it sounds like you did a great job. I wasn't there, but I can tell.
It was good.
Over the weekend, I saw on Instagram this woman taste tested 5 different versions of Diet Coke and was able to get all 5 of them. And I feel like I'd be particularly skilled in that.
I've seen those too. I think that's really cool. I don't drink pop, so I don't know. But yeah, so you're saying like from a can, from like a bottle, fountain, or like, are we talking like McDonald's?
It was kind of like a mix: can, bottle, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, and then she had like one other one in there. And one of the comments was this woman could have put in all of this effort to actually like figuring out how to like, be a sommelier. And
Yeah.
she did this instead.
Hey,
And
you like Diet Coke? That's your thing.
I thought it was impressive. So there you go.
Well, it's like there's that beverage influencer. I can't think of her name. Lauren Powell, I think.
Oh.
She's the Seltzbert. And so she did that with all the black cherry seltzers. And she got them
I've
all
got one
right.
on my desk right now.
Yeah. So
It's me.
it was like It was like White Claw, Kirkland, just all the brands of seltzers, but they were all the black cherry, and she got them all right. It was wild.
No, I mean, like, people know where they're doing. I guess I should also clarify mine is, like, non-alcoholic. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking, like, Polar, LaCroix, that kind
No,
of
no, like black cherry alcohol.
No, the real stuff. I mean, listen, if you drink it long enough, you can tell, like, it's about, like, you like what you like, and you're, educated enough in all the different things. Wine, Diet Coke, seltzer, what have
Yeah,
you.
yeah. What you do, you.
Oh, I'm impressed though, 40 page. That's tough stuff. So I'm impressed. I'm glad that it was a good, experience for you. And I hope you get other opportunities like that too with this competition or others down the line.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So, what did you do?
Well, we did the 10K stuff with you all. And then my favorite thing to do after 10K, doing all of that exertion in the morning is to get a bagel somewhere. And we
Mm,
decided to go for Chewy's this time when in the
mm,
past they've gone for Nate's.
yes.
And we got there, we had kind of a different experience because they were almost sold out, but we ended up taking home like a half dozen of the couple of options they had left, one of which was like their like bagel of the week, which was a confetti. I think they just called it
Ooh.
like their confetti bagel. And it actually, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know if I was going to like
Was it sweet?
yeah, like I didn't know what it was going to be, but it was kind of like muffiny in bagel form, and it actually was very good. Which I would expect nothing different from Chewy's, but I've never seen a confetti bagel before. So we did that. We did a little intermission visit later in the weekend over near us to go check out their barcade and see what their non-alcoholic beer offerings are. I had a great one called like something from Safe. I think it's like Safety Glasses was like the brand, but I was talking to, I think she's the owner over there and just saying that their non-alcoholic options over at Intermission are very delish if you're in the market for that kind of thing. So that was enjoyable. We got a Maymont visit in at the top of this week. So we're not on the same like pace as far as like visiting around town in Richmond, but it did feel like a jam-packed weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, when you start, early with something like the 10K, I feel like it's just the tone of the weekend. You're doing
Yeah.
something all over the place.
Awesome. Well, let's dive in. So, what to eat, drink, see, and do in RVA this week. And I'm up first with eat. And I got to say, I've already been there, just opened. So, the fan favorite market just opened its third location, and it's Yellow Umbrella and Scott's Edition. So, I'm pumped again.
Yes.
Scott's. So this is in Ballast, and it will also be home to Sierra's Vodka and Slack Tide, a restaurant behind the Yellow Umbrella team. But the new spot has specialty groceries and pantry staples. They have seafood and sushi. They have pasture-raised meats and an in-house butcher, along with fresh-made sandwiches, salads, and bowls, plus wine and beer. So it is the perfect little grocery stop, but also a place where you can grab lunch. We did go on opening day to grab lunch, and I think it's going to be our new go-to. I got the tuna poke bowl, and Holly got the Southwest grain bowl. Both delicious. Loved the prices, to be honest with you. I'm just going to say, Stella's is expensive. We love Stella's. We get it all the time. And, the thing is, you get 2 to 3 meals out of it.
True.
Yellow Umbrella is a little bit more approachable. However, it is served for one.
There you go.
So keep that in mind. So,
Okay.
But speaking of Cirrus, like I said, I'm getting a sneak peek this week, but our members get first dibs on Monday, April 24th, and we still have 4 spots open as of this morning. So if you have not signed up for your spot, go do that then so you can see the new Cirrus at Ballast, and we're pumped for that too.
Yeah.
So get over to Yellow Umbrella.
Yeah, delicious options. I have to get over there. I was ever since you like posted your stories last week, I've been like tempted to like stop by. My typical one is the one across from Libby Mill Library. Anytime I'm taking the kids over there for like story time, I'm like, do we stop in for some sushi to go? But no, there's this other one in Scott's Edition I have to go check out.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Just because, you can walk to it. It's accessible. I like
Yeah.
it.
And speaking of Nate's Bagels a minute ago too, we were just talking like last week. You had reminded me that they're getting a place out in that area too that I had forgotten about, which is also very exciting for you, Paige.
Yeah, I think it's off of which that is gonna actually be a problem. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, just the
It's
number of
coming
times you're going to go
soon.
over there.
Yeah, coming soon to High Point. The problem is I'm gonna eat a Nate's Bagel every day.
Yeah, like how could you not make that your daily breakfast? Impossible.
It's gonna be hard. It's really, really actually gonna be hard thinking about it just now, but we will prevail.
Yeah, we'll pray for you, Paige.
Yeah.
Okay, well, for drink this week, we just updated our best Richmond patios in the area. Our guide, our roundup of that page. I know you put out a post of quite a few in recent weeks, but our
Mhm.
guide has like 20 plus. So if you were looking for even more where that came from, we've got that for you on our website. One of my favorites is Legend Brewing Co.'s patio. It's got both water views and a skyline view, and the patio is huge. You never really have to worry about getting a spot over there. At least in my experience, we've never really had a problem getting a table when we've gone over. But if you get there around sunset, you can also be prepared to see astounding views of the glittering city lights too, which is another bonus if you go a little bit later in the evening. Um, right now, they've got their spring lager in their tap rotation, which is a hoppy lager with notes of citrus and sweet fruit, backed by a bread like malt, providing more flavor than your traditional lagers while remaining easy to drink. It is one of my favorites around this time of year, and my go to is usually something like that with an order or two of their large Bavarian pretzels. So I felt like this is my drink suggestion, and if you needed something to pair
Sam,
it with, I can help you with that too.
which you were the one that said this and a pretzel
With the
at
view of the
with the
city.
view at on my this and trending post I just put
Yes.
on Instagram last week. I was like, "Hey, give me some ideas," and you
Yes.
delivered.
And that was, I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do. Get a beer over there, sit outside, get some pretzels, enjoy your life. That post was so fun to watch because I couldn't tell which one was the most popular slide
I
for
The
people.
most popular, hands down, that people shared was this and a cold beer.
I was going to say, was it the
It
squirrels?
it had yeah, and because you just feel it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like,
Yes.
the you're in the bullpen deck, you have your hot dog, it's spring, summer, and then you get that cold beer. It's just a feeling.
It leaves nothing to the imagination in a good way because it puts you right there. And it doesn't surprise me that that might have been the one that people were most excited about. That was a perfect one to start the series with.
Yeah, that one, and then, I think it was a toss-up between, Belle Isle Rocks, this and 75 Degrees, and then this and Staying for Another Round.
I mean, they're all such good options. It was such a good roundup of things. I was really excited to watch that one speak to different people.
Yeah, it was fun. I like to see what everybody's sharing,
Yeah,
so it was
exactly.
fun.
It's so fun. Speaking of this and a cold beer, too, like the squirrels have quite a few games happening this week, don't they?
Yeah, the homestand starts on Tuesday through Sunday, so
There
a
you go.
game every day, fireworks on Friday with happy hour, and then fireworks on Saturday.
Okay, so if that post was one that you reshared, now is your moment. Get over there.
Yeah, truly. All right. Up next is C, and that's me. And I think everybody should go and see Easter on Parade. It's a beloved Richmond tradition that turns Monument Avenue into a vibrant celebration every Easter Sunday. This event will take place this Sunday, April 20th from 1 to 5, and it spans from Davis to North Allen Avenues. Holly and I went last year, and it's such a joy to see all the decorated yards, festive hats. We're planning to walk there again this Sunday, but they have a festive atmosphere. Usually over 25,000 attendees come out in colorful Easter bonnets and spring attire, pets included. They have live music, arts and craft vendors, family-friendly activities. There is a bonnet contest if you want to get involved. They're usually really, really creative. And then they're going to have some food trucks for you to enjoy as well. So definitely get out there. It's a great little family friendly activity to do on Easter. You know, us, we're just going to walk there and then like walk over to Jarden.
Yeah, do your old faithfuls. It makes complete sense. The bonnet contest in particular stands out to me. I haven't done this particular event, but it sounds so cute.
It is. And it's like crazy creative. People like must work on these things forever.
Yeah.
So it is very cool.
And it's very exciting because at a time earlier in this year, I guess toward the end of last year, we were thinking maybe we weren't going to get Easter on parade, but it's in business. We're in good shape.
Yeah, they have to have like a pretty substantial sum of money to put it on every year. And then I think it was saved by a nice donor.
Yes. So
So
that's
we're thankful.
yeah, exactly. Very grateful for that. That'll be a very nice thing to do on your holiday this weekend. And, or a nice thing, I guess, to see. Paige and I were talking about our see and do are kind of interchangeable this week. For do, though, on the theme of Easter weekend, I'm suggesting you go do Dominion Energy Family Easter, which is happening at Maymont this Saturday, April 19th. So if you want some plans earlier in the weekend, this could be an option for you. It'll include fun activities, crafts and games, live entertainment, food trucks, and of course, photos with the Easter Bunny. The Robbins Nature Center and Maymont Farm are part of the fun too. As I mentioned at the top, I just took the family over there for a little visit earlier this week, and we got to see the new baby goat. So
Yay.
get over there. They're as cute as you'd expect. You can visit them between your stints of, say, the dance zone with the DJ or the community zone, where you can meet local helpers and heroes, including public safety officers, educators, sports mascots, and family-friendly businesses and nonprofit groups. And you can check out their trucks and gear used by utility workers, firefighters, and emergency responders, which kind of reminded me of those like touch a truck sort of events. They do recommend advanced reservations. You can choose a morning slot from 9 to 12 or an afternoon slot from 12 to 3 for your entry time, but you can stay and play all day, no matter what window you do. Admission includes 3 activity tickets, each of which earns a fun activity or prize for you. And you can bring an Easter basket to carry all of your prizes home. Tickets are $5, except for kiddos under 1. So if you've got a baby with you, they get in free, as they should with the Easter Bunny there.
Yeah, I think it's so sweet. Maymont does amazing things. We
They
love
do
Maymont.
the nice things. Yes. I also have not officially been over there for this event. I think there was a year in the past recently where I was like, oh, let's swing by there. And it was so packed that we ended up swinging away from there. So take them seriously about the advanced, admission situation and make sure you've got your plan nailed down.
Yeah, get there early for sure.
It's not something where you can it's not a swing by Easter Bunny meet and greet. Okay. This man has places to be.
Yeah, truly. Probably a line, but always worth it.
There you go. Yeah. It sounds really cute. Nice way to spend your Easter weekend.
There are also some fun adult Easter egg hunts happening this weekend.
Yeah. There you go.
I saw one. I think there's one at Ashton Creek Vineyards, and I know there's another one. It's also Earth Day this weekend, so there's lots of festivals happening around that. I was texting Kelsey beforehand. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're into the there's something going on every day now.
It's hard to narrow it down what we want to talk about.
But of course, that's why we have our website full of everything.
I know. Paige spends time daily, basically, making sure that it's updated with all of the different things. And of course, the Insider comes out midweek. So for next week, midweek, we round up a couple that you should check out for the end of the week. Our Weekenders coming out. So you've got different ways to catch all the different things going on. But there are quite a few things. It's spring, people.
Yeah. We're busy.
Mm-hmm.
But that wraps us up. So thanks for listening, Richmond. And by the way, there's more where that came from. Joining the Richmond Experience as a member is the best way to stay in the know about what's going on in RVA.
Not to worry, we refuse to sell your info or bombard you with ads, but we do charge a small annual membership fee of $39 a year to fund our team so we can keep doing this awesome work. Plus, a portion of each annual membership purchased for the Richmond Experience goes to rotating nonprofits each month. That's $1 per week to get an all-access pass to the best of RVA and lift up local orgs. It's a really, really good deal, friends. And listen, what are friends for anyway? Use code CHATTER to get $10 off your first year subscription.
Give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at The Richmond Experience, and on Instagram at The Chatter and RVA too. And if you enjoyed this episode, send it to your buds and rate, review, and subscribe.
And if you want to keep up with each of us, you can find me at Kelsey Heinz's Typing on Instagram.
And me, Sips and Trips with Paige on Instagram.
Chat with you next week, RVA.